Good morning, everybody. It is a fabulous day, and I had already recorded a video, but then as I was writing the article that supported it, it shifted. And so I'm re-recording this video because it shifted so dramatically about these three words: stop, gather, and go. How many times have you been in a situation where you do something and you regret it? You might say something and you regret it. You might overreact and you regret it. Well, that's what happened to me. Several years ago, about 20 years ago, 22 years ago, somewhere around there, I went to the zoo. And I was with a whole group of people. And I hate going to zoos. And one of the reasons I hate going to zoos is because I always feel like the animals are lonely, they're depressed, they're just sad. I never feel like they're really alive and vibrant. Even when they are out moving around and playing, I still feel like they're just in a depressed state. So I've never really liked going to the zoos. Well, one day we went to the zoo, and I went I think it was a chaperone. I was going around to help with my daughter. And we were with a bunch of friends, and we go to I think we were in the aquariums and the terrariums. And as we're sitting there, I look over and I see this little girl just pounding on the glass of one of the cages. And the mother wasn't far away. At least I didn't feel like she was far away. And I'm thinking, why isn't she doing something? Stop that little girl from pounding. Think about how awful this is for this animal sitting here, and then this kid is pounding on the glass. I mean, the pain that I was imagining. Well, I didn't stop at all. I exploded. And I went up to her and I said, "How would you like it if somebody sat there pounding on you and when you were inside of a cage like this? Huh? How would you like that? Somebody sitting there, da-da-da-da." Well, the little girl, I mean, she was a little girl. I think she was probably 6, 7 years old. Maybe even 5. And she just looked at me like, this fear. In my rage, even though I wasn't hurting her like physically, my rage was so much so that in my actions, in my face, she was petrified. Well, the mother saw my reaction because I was loud enough that this happened. I was loud enough. She came over and she grabbed her daughter and just walked away. And I knew then, and this was a friend, I knew then that I'd seriously done some damage. So now I want to step back here. And if I would have implemented this process that I'm going to introduce to you today. First, I notice the situation. The situation is such that I am going, oh, they're pounding on the glass. They need to stop. I need to stop. I need to notice my feelings. I need to notice my intention. I need to notice there's so much I need to notice. I need to identify where my emotions are at. Then I need to gather. I need to gather my thoughts. I need to gather my feelings. I need to gather the emotions. And then I need to go and react afterwards. But when I go You always go with love. I did not go with love when I approached this little girl. I was so frustrated, and I allowed my anger, my frustration, and the frustration towards the mother, the frustration towards the zoo. All of this accumulated, and I allowed it to come out in not a loving way at all. It was very angry. It was very frustrating. I got my point across, and maybe to this day that little girl might fear going to a zoo, but the end result was not good. So we need to stop before we act. Before we say anything, before we do anything, we need to stop. And we need to gather. We need to gather ourselves, our emotions, our feelings. We need to gather our thoughts of what we want to do and what our intention is. We need to gather all that. And then we need to go or proceed with love. Had I done that, maybe we would still be friends this day. Maybe we would still be getting together, but I didn't do that. And no amount of sorries, apologies, nothing can repair that for some people. The damage was done, and I couldn't undo it. So I hope that you can take my valuable lesson. And when something's coming up, your children are acting out, your parents are doing something, your family's doing something, your boss is doing something, a coworker, whoever it may be, something is going on. Before you react, stop, gather, and then go. But go with love, go with the right intention, and go with the understanding that you want to keep this relationship whole, healthy, and complete. You're amazing. Believe it. Have a fantastic day.